This is James the Red Engine, and you're listening to the Railway Series Book Club. It's a rather splendid show, if I say so myself.
It's me, Mario! I love the Railway Series!
Here we go.
I love Season 12 and I hate women! Yippee!
Mario would never.
You know what isn't Yahoo? Hi, I'm Jeremy Albertson, the actor who plays Mario. You wanna know what isn't Yahoo? Drugs and alcohol.
Remember, if you take drugs, you go to hell before you die.
Before you die.
I make sure of it.
Yippee!
Do you know someone who owns a gun? Or a knife?
I do.
I think, like... I'm just thinking about that, like how there's, like, an entire playlist of those Captain Lou PSAs. Just the very, very quick ones where he's like, remember, police can't stop crime!
True!
Remember, Luigi, all cops are bastards.
Don't forget, Luigi, all cops are bastards.
Remember,
Every single
Luigi,
one of them.
Never
Mario.
talk to a cop without a lawyer.
Especially considering
But
we're
Mario.
Italian.
What if he's being very nice and persuasive? That's all the more reason not to, Luigi. Don't forget, it's just to coax you out of information that could be used against you in a court of law. Even if they don't say it. Which, in itself, is illegal.
Your Fifth Amendment right is the right to remain silent. You don't have to tell them pigs anything, Luigi.
You wouldn't have to tell them shit. Wow, that's brilliant. Thank you, Mario.
No problem, Luigi. Welcome to the Railway Series Book Club, the podcast where we talk about the train books.
Is this in? Are we putting all of that in?
I think we should make that the actual opening. I think that'd be funny.
Okay,
That'd be funny as fuck,
let's just
yeah.
keep it. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, go on.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I unfortunately Mario is not here today. It's very sad, but I am here. I am Jamie,
Mamma
the Queen of
mia.
Sodor. Pronouns she, her. Hostess with the mostest. Collector of very small Thomases. And I have my capsule plurals out today, and I am deeply contemplating buying more, which would probably not be very fiscally responsible, but, like, I need them. I need them.
Jamie needs her little plastic bullshit.
I do! I love little
think-
plastic bullshits.
I think we all need our little plastic bullshit, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I bought
You
some
know?
very shitty blind bag Sonic figures today.
Oh, what ones did you get?
I got Vector the Crocodile, Espio the Chameleon, Boob
Yeah.
the Bat, and Supersonic.
Awesome. That's a good selection.
Yeah.
What were we talking about with Supersonic a few nights ago?
I don't remember.
s-
Something about
I
piss,
could-
probably.
No, I don't think it had anything to do with piss. There was just, like, some sort of joke about, like,
We were talking about you getting the
what's it?
Caucasian emeralds.
the Caucasian emeralds. Yeah, that was it. That was it.
Huh. I must have missed that conversation, because that sounds insane.
Yeah, Andrew got all the Caucasian emeralds and became a super white fuck.
Huh.
Yeah, it was when it was just me, Vivian, and Lucy in the call.
Yeah.
I see.
You, I had
Wow,
the-
y'all talk about such crazy things together. Unlike the things that we talk about, which are totally normal, like the Sodor Skin Factory.
Yes.
Yes,
That's
everybody...
a very normal thing to talk about.
Terrible news, everybody listening at home. Nigel, the transportation lorry, is not allowed near the Sodor Skin Factory any longer.
Yeah.
That's what the court decided the restraining order should be.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm Vivian, she, her.
Yeah, and I'm Andrew, they, them.
Yeah.
And I don't have tea today.
Damn.
Aw.
Well, I'm
We're
still
gonna
a
have to
ghost.
see how this affects me.
This is deeply concerning, but also a great chance to experiment. I'm going to be writing notes about what you do in this episode without tea, just to document the effects of an Andrew Sans tea.
It's very important to write notes. God forbid we don't write notes.
Before in the past where I didn't have tea. Like it's not like this is like an unreasonable, like uncommon occurrence. What the? Fucking taking notes on me like a goddamn experiment.
And anyway, it's time for us to talk about Doubleheader, which is the third story in the 8 Famous Engines.
We're finally getting head.
We sure fucking are. Let's go. So this is another story that got axed from Series 2 of the television series, but unlike Gordon Goes Foreign, they decided to do it in Season 3. And I think it's one of the better Season 3 adaptations. How do we feel about that?
I don't know if I'm weird.
I
I'm
like
of the opinion that I really like most of the Season 3 adaptations.
I
Like-
think it's the least offensive of the bunch.
I like Season 3 a lot.
I like Season 3 too. I think it does kind of mess with adaptations in ways that I'm kind of hit or miss on, but I do agree that the changes in this one are inoffensive. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'd argue some of them help improve it to an extent, but we'll talk about that later, because I'm still not entirely sure on that.
That said, I don't like the title "Time for Trouble." That's kind of shit.
No, it's a shit trick.
Yeah, Time for Trouble's not great.
It's an alright title. It's just a shit one for that story, really.
Yeah.
Stick with Doubleheader, mate.
Yeah.
If you wanted to have trouble, why not just call it Double Trouble?
Oh, they already had that in the U.S.
Yeah, they already had that.
Because that's what they called Thomas Percy and the Cole. In the U.S., they called it Double Trouble.
That's stupid.
It is
It
stupid.
is.
I don't like it.
You know, honestly, I think this might be the least interesting story in this book. At least from a metatextual perspective, because, like, it's not as iconic as Percy Takes the Plunge or the Fat Controller's Engine, and its production history isn't as interesting as Gordon Goes Foreign, so it's just kind of there. Like, there's a provisional script for it from Season 2, but it's pretty much just the original text of the story, so it's not much to discuss on that front.
To its credit, I do really, really enjoy this story. Like,
Yeah, it's a good story. I really like it.
Like, it is a bit of a shame that there's not a whole lot to discuss with it, but that's also kind of not really a bad thing, I think. It's nice to just have a story that is just there
it's
as a
not
nice,
a bad
as a nice
story.
read.
It's just that it's
Yeah.
like there's not a ton to say about it.
Yeah, you know, and honestly, you know, that is fine, because the front of these episodes, when we just talk about the production history, does kind of go long sometimes, so it's good to have a shorter one now with that.
Yeah. Most backstory I can give is that, according to reading between the lines, J70 once had to be helped, in quotes, to the ex-Great Eastern Works in Stratford for overhaul after having been stranded without water.
Oh, poor thing.
So, basically, the exact story happened in real life, even with it being a J70.
I wonder if James was there.
I think James was there, and he said, "Shant."
Which we will get to, because that's a great moment.
Love that
James
bit so
was
much.
there, and he said, "I like chewy cookies!"
James was there, and he said, "I like men!"
I love Vic! I say, little Toby, I love p***s. I'm sure you do.
Dickhead.
Well, that tracks.
The Fat Controller gave Gordon a rest when he came back from London. He told James to do his work. James got very conceited about it. You know, little Toby, he said one day, I'm an important engine now. Everyone knows it. They come in crowds to see me flash by. The heaviest trains make no difference. I'm as regular as clockwork. They all set their watches by me. Never late, always on time. That's me. Says you, replied Toby cheekily.
So, three things actually, just looking at this illustration. One, these are some very good faces.
Oh,
and I
they're
like just
fantastic.
seeing these two hang out next to each other.
Fantastic. Yeah, I love this one so much.
Number two, I love that Toby has a very convenient carrying handle on his roof.
Yeah.
It's so that in All Engines Go, Carly can pick him up and swing him around.
Oh.
Yes, indeed.
Toby
pretty
knows
sure
to be good to his dad.
Yes.
Yeah. I believe that's a condensing pipe, actually.
I believe so, too.
Yeah.
But
But
on the track
no,
and
it's
I'll
it's
snort
Toby's.
crack.
Get it on track and fucking crack. Oh, mate, look at your dad.
I don't know what the fuck you two are referencing.
I'll tell you later.
Yeah.
Okay. The third thing I was going to point out is that I love the cattle vans in the background because they just look like unpainted Pico cattle van kits.
Yeah.
Where the fuck are
fun.
they?
Where knows?
They're somewhere. Next to the sand pit, I guess.
Yeah, the big sand pit. The big
Yeah.
sand pit.
Can I just
guess,
say,
is,
I love how
still
literally
bit of-
half of this page is just James going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
real
fucking yaps all day.
You'd have thought he just came back from New Yap City, but no.
Yeah. So in Time for Trouble, I need to remember to actually say that episode's name instead of just the TV version, because since they have two different titles, I could just call them one or the other. I could alternate the titles.
Is
In
this
Time
the
for
first time
Trouble.
this has happened, by the way? Oh no, never mind. It's not. It's not.
Yeah,
the
it's
first time.
not. It's happened before. I just forgot.
Yeah, it's happened with basically all of Four Little Engines except Peter, Sam, and the Refreshment Lady.
Yeah, and also A Scarf for Percy, which
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure in that episode we just always called it A Scarf for Percy instead of the actual name.
Because that's the version that people like.
It's a version people like, and it's also a title that sticks better in my head as opposed to Percy and the Trousers.
Yeah.
I think about
Like-
Percy and the Trousers as a title quite a lot. I mean, I like both titles, really.
This-
I'm not
like-
fussed.
No, okay. We went on extensively in that episode. I'm still to this day amazed at how shit Percy and the Trousers is and how good A Scarf for Percy is.
I had a bit of a Percy and the Trousers experience, one of the times I went to Strasbourg recently.
That's a very unusual sentence you just said to me.
It is a very unusual sentence, and it before anyone gets any ideas of oh my god, there's another thing with the whatever. No, it was more just that I was looking out of the coach window, and 475 was running on the train, but I think the driver had shut off steam or something because I did not fucking hear her approach at all, and I just got jump scared by her.
Oh
As she
god.
passed by my peripheral. I was like, oh.
475 was the
trains
one
are-
who got her fucking nose broken by the digger, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she got her face caved in.
Poor
She
thing.
got her face caved in. She got her skull
Yeah.
caved in. Yeah, but she's alright now.
Yeah, she got over it.
Yeah.
She walked it off. Rubbed some
it off.
dirt on it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a good thing it was the smoke box and not the fucking boiler or something, because the smoke box doesn't need to be fucking, the smoke box doesn't need to be as high maintenance as fucking boiler, I think.
Yeah.
If I remember right, though, I think I remember hearing that the jib was only a few inches from hitting something very bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. She got very, very lucky, all things considered.
Yep.
Especially considering there was a full train right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
God, that was such a fucking crazy experience being,
So
seeing that happen on Twitter and being like, oh my fucking god. That poor train.
I think it was a flu sheet it was very close to hitting. Maybe wrong.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that would have been bad.
Yeah.
I remember hearing it was maybe an inch or two from it. which,
Yeah, that's... It's not ideal, is it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with
Alright.
steam trains. They will kill you.
Yeah, you know.
Remember, Luigi.
Oh,
Don't
Mario's
fuck
back!
with steam engines, or else they'll kill you.
Remember,
What do you mean, Mario?
Remember, Luigi.
I mean what I said,
Thomas
Luigi.
is about as cute as a loaded gun.
Just
That's
like
right,
King
Mario.
Koopa.
I like guns, you know?
What?
You think guns are cute, Luigi?
I like watching
Not
the life
really,
leave a
but-
man's eyes.
There's probably something cute about that, right?
What the fuck, Luigi?
What the fuck are you talking about, Luigi?
Yo,
Anyway, look at this picture with Toby and James. Isn't it nice? Oh.
Yeah.
Haven't you ever wanted to kill a man, Mario?
No.
Oh god, what the fuck? What the fuck was I gonna say before we got on this? Right. Time for Trouble
Yeah, time
adds
for
an
trouble.
expository scene at the beginning to take the place of Gordon's adventure to London as a justification for James pulling the express.
Yeah, just that he gets a bit tired. Which, it actually does include a bit of dialogue from Gordon Goes Foreign.
Yeah.
interestingly
Yeah.
enough.
It's interesting. So I guess it did get kind of adapted somewhere. You know,
Yeah, about
in
2
a
seconds.
very break-van way.
Yeah.
It got adapted in the same way Bluebells of England got adapted in that they put Percy next to Douglas.
Yeah.
I don't remember if we mentioned this in Percy's Promise when we did that, because it's been 4 months. But at the beginning of Time for Trouble, when
Tell
Thomas
us
and Edward
in
are at...
the comments below.
Also, join
Yeah,
the
tell us in the
Discord.
comments if I'm
Or
being
the
redundant by saying this. But at the fucking beginning of Time for Trouble, Thomas pulls away with Annie, Clarabelle, and a brake van. Which is the same consist Percy pulls in Percy's Promise, because they don't want to cut off Annie and Clarabelle's fingernails.
I think you did mention that, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I did, but I just
Yeah.
wanted to bring it up now, because it's Time for Trouble, and we're at Time for Trouble now.
Yeah.
Time for Teletubbies.
They also add scenes after, like, where this page ends to turn the exposition in the next couple pages into actual parts of the story, which is neat, so we'll talk about that more on the next page.
Yeah. Toby was out on the main line. The Fat Controller had sent him to the works. His parts were worn. They clanked as he trundled along. He was enjoying his journey. He was a little engine, and his tanks didn't hold much water, so he often had to stop for a drink. He had small wheels, too. They couldn't go fast. Never mind, he thought. The signalman will know me. They'll give me plenty of time. But a new signalman had come to one of the stations. Toby's a good boy.
He is...
It's a nice picture with Toby.
Yeah, I like him.
Holy
He's
fuck, a
very
house.
And there's, like, chicken coops there? Oh, that's crazy. That's a whole ass farm right there, isn't it?
nice. Yeah! In the episode, we get to actually see the Fat Controller tell Toby to go to the works, and then also a scene where he has to leave Henrietta behind, which is on the next page and not this one. But, you know,
Yeah.
I think it's a fine addition for the sake of padding out the episode.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't mind it.
Something else I only realized when you were reading this page is that they changed the dialogue in a very specific way in Time for Trouble that I think is interesting, because it's like, you know, Toby has a small water tank, so he has to stop often, and he has a small engine with little wheels, so he can't go fast. They kind of truncate those two concepts in the episode to Toby's a little engine with small wheels, and he doesn't hold a lot of water. And it's kind of like, I don't know, I did not think this as a kid, but I could see people, like, hearing the way that that's strung together in Time for Trouble and thinking that somehow him having small wheels is related to him having low water or something.
Well,
Maybe
no,
I'm just overthinking
My
that.
water
No,
tank
it
is
was- I
special
believe
in
that,
that
you
my
know.
wheels are made of glass.
I store water in my wheels. It's very convoluted.
Why did they build me this way?
My buffers are made of paper. No, I'm pretty sure the line in Time for Trouble is, he's a little engine with small wheels. His tanks don't hold much water. Right?
Okay, that's a little more clear than I'm remembering in that case.
Because, like, I don't know, I very specifically remember that being what Carlin says.
Yeah.
I'll check now.
I do quite like the Carlin narration of this episode. I feel like he really came into his own in Season 3.
I think... Yeah, this Time for Trouble might be one of my favorite Carlin ones.
Yeah.
I'll watch that willingly. But it...
Yeah.
Though... However, it doesn't have. So
that's
very
true.
So I would like to bring up a Tumblr post that I'm a very big fan of, because this page reminded me of it while I was taking notes.
I'm correct, by the way.
I believe it was Joe's World who posted it.
Yeah.
The thing about Toby being a fucking nightmare on the run to the works now.
Yeah, because he could just go ridiculously fucking fast. That was Joe's World. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I pulled it up now. I found it, and it has a. He's always cranky when he has to do this run. I don't think my cab agrees with him very much. This run doesn't agree with anyone, you sociopathic garden shed! We'll probably remember to link it somewhere. It's very good, please read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, it'll be somewhere. Like, maybe it'll be in the Discord.
Join the Discord. And
Join the Discord.
Join the Discord, and someone in the episode's chat, if it's not linked anywhere, tag me and I'll link it to you.
Yeah.
Put it in the description, too.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, this is the first time we really get to see Kenny's, like, landscape work.
Because all of the illustrations...
It's our first proper lens into it. Because previously, much of it had just been industrial areas, the railway yards, stations, sheds,
the most
the
that
harbor.
You see before this point is the tiny bit that you see of the illustration with Percy at the airfield, which isn't really much of anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more airfield than countryside, but here it's just pure countryside. You got a whole farm there, like chickens and stuff in their coops, and a cart. Horse and cart, guy coming on the road. I think there's a dog there too. A couple children waving at Toby and him like going, oh, hello, hello. Really, this entire book is just Kenny firing on all cylinders. From
He wanted to make a good first impression, I think.
Definitely.
And I think it paid off, considering I think even until the very end of his life, Wilbur always spoke very highly of Kenny.
Yeah, he did. He absolutely did.
I liked Kenny. He was cool.
I thought he was pretty cool. His pictures were really, really nice, and he actually knew shit about engines, and that was something I appreciated a lot.
He drew Toby very good. That is a good Toby. 10 out of 10.
It was a very good Toby. I gave it 7 out of 7, because what number could be higher than 7 for Toby?
What number
Really?
could be higher than 7? I don't know any higher.
I didn't learn how to count.
Anyway, that's why ducks numbered 5741 and not, whatever the fuck the other one
Because every single number in that number is lower than 7. Except the 7, which is a 7.
Which is 7.
Toby had wanted to take Henrietta, but the Fat Controller had said, "No, what would the passengers do without her?" He wondered if Henrietta was lonely. Percy had promised to look after her, but Toby couldn't help worrying. "Percy doesn't understand her like I do," he said. He felt thirsty and tired. He had come a long way. He saw a distant signal. Good, he thought. Now I can have a nice drink and rest in the siding till James has gone by. Toby worries about his wife.
Yeah, it's so fucking cute.
And I love just him going, he doesn't understand her like I do.
Yeah.
That's very sweet.
Yeah, because they've been through a lot together.
Yeah.
I'm still sad Elsie never became a thing in the books.
Yeah. Me too.
Fuck,
Yeah.
fuck Victoria, give me Elsie.
Fuck Victoria, give me Quarryman's coach.
Yeah. Listen,
Yeah, let's
listen.
fucking go.
No, Henrietta Quarryman's coach in Elsie is peak.
Yeah.
We don't need
Yes.
Victoria.
Farquhar Mark II is just
We
peak
do not need
in general.
Victoria. Nobody has ever needed Victoria.
I really appreciate that the TV series adds the scene of Percy saying, "I'll look after Henrietta Toby."
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
like I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Like, it's already a cute moment, but, like, you know, getting to see it is also cute.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. This page is very important in an interesting way, by the
Mhm.
way. Because this is the first ever depiction of a firearm in anything remotely pertaining to Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh, yes, so it is.
Oh.
If you have a look on the left there, you'll see a farmer just stood there, leaning against the fence with his pipe, and his rifle, and his dog.
And then, moments before this, he said, "Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting twams." He started firing at Toby, and then Toby turned into a transformer and beat him to death.
Yeah! He just goes... Is that how the sound goes? It's like...
It's like...
Right?
I can't do it very well. It's a hard sound to vocalize, but it's like...
It sounds like if Perry the Platypus
get-
was choking.
I can't get the depth of my voice that it
It
requires.
sounds like if Perry the Platypus was choking and simultaneously shitting himself.
I don't know if I would call that sound that. Unless we're just talking about
That's not
us.
how I describe it. I think you just wanted to string some words together.
I mean, I am very good at stringing words
Damn, you
together.
really got her.
Yeah. I understood part of that, but... No. I don't think
I don't
so.
have anything else to say about this
Podcast
page.
is over.
Oh, so... Yeah, okay.
Da 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 da.
This is another really, really pretty...
Oh, it's
illustration,
lovely.
Because like, you get more, like, rolling hills, and to be honest, I'm paying a lot more attention to the background
Hmm.
right now. Then, and it's like, you can see the town there, you got the church, all those houses and stuff, and you have more hills and mountains and stuff.
I
in the
will
back.
point out, so, Jamie, you have a lot of very strong opinions on the color of Toby's bracing in the books. Like, because we've gone on extensively about how you think that, like, the slightly darker looking bracing looks a little bit nicer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it kind of like fluctuates back and forth
Yeah.
in these illustrations. At the very least, in the scans I'm looking at.
So I have like a, just the book itself here, and yeah, it's
Yes.
very bright in the first illustration, and then in the second and third one, it's kind of on the level of like, Mrs. Kindly's Christmas.
Yeah.
Not the bracing is still lighter.
The bracing is still lighter. I think she was just talking about the planking.
Oh,
Ugh.
Were you?
I just mean like it's not all exactly like it, Mrs. Kindly Christmas, but it's like he's noticeably different shades from illustration to illustration.
Yeah, he's got more of an orange than a red.
I think that's...
Or more orangey than a reddish.
think that might be to do with the quality of the scans.
Probably.
Because page 1 is very, very crisp. Page 2 is a bit blurry. Page 3 is also a little blurred. Kind of washed out. 2 especially looks a bit washed out, so...
If anybody has like an original edition of this book, let us know.
Yeah, if anyone's got a first edition and would like to
Yeah.
share bits of that with us, see how that compares.
If anybody is capable of making like actual good scans of the Railway series, please upload them to
Please.
the wiki.
Please.
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 At the very least, in what I'm looking at right now, it does feel closer to Mrs. Kindly's Christmas, so I do enjoy that. I
don't remember
enjoy.
what he looks like in Mrs. Kindly's Christmas, actually.
You know, he's got darker planking and kind of like a reddish tint to his bracing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see that. I see that.
I'm willing to bet the reddish tint could also be a product of washed out images, but I still like it.
Mm.
You know, I just wish that Toby in the TV series was sort of like a rich, dark color like this instead of just raw wood. Because, like, especially in the fucking late CGI series, it just makes him look like a literal pile of shit if
Yeah.
he's just a bunch of ratty, unpainted wood instead of, like, you know, lovingly painted and nice colors.
I kind of like Toby being a little bit ratty. I feel like that's kind of part of his charm.
Yeah, Toby being a bit ratty is fine. Like, especially, like, considering how much of the Farquhar branch is inspired by Colonel Stevens' railways. Like, that, I'm okay with that. But...
I mean, I guess. I don't know. I still would like it
I
if
do
he
also
was a
kind
bit
of wish
fancier.
that Toby looked a bit nicer in the show.
Yeah, like, you know, it feels very weird to see him next to, like, Thomas. And he just looks like he's rotting away, you know?
Toby, are you dying?
No.
No. I have a kidney problem.
Completely unrelated. Can you take me to the hospital?
Hospital.
Hello, Diesel. Hospital.
Hospital.
I don't know where the fuck this bit originated from, but I love it.
Well, clearly it's to do with Sick Diesel.
I know, but why is he just saying hospital?
I don't
He
remember.
needs to go there.
Hospital.
I
Clearly.
genuinely don't remember.
I don't know anything about
Hospital.
this bit either.
Hospital.
Hospital.
I was there for
Hospital.
like when that particular. I think I was there for the entire conception of Sick Diesel as a joke, and I just don't.
That's fucked up.
It just happened.
Hospital.
I just witnessed it. It's one of those things where you just can't explain it.
I will say, before we go, because I don't think I said it distinctly, fucking love this illustration. It's beautiful.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
good.
Like, there's so many like favorite illustrations of Kenny's that I have. Really, it's so hard to say which is like my absolute favorite out of all of his works. This one is kind of high up there. I think I've got others that I like more than it, but this one still is just fucking gorgeous.
Toby's driver thought so too. They stopped by the water crane. His fireman jumped out and put the hose in his tank. Toby was enjoying his drink when the signalman came up. Toby had never seen him before. "No time for that," said the signalman. "We must clear the road for the express." "Right," said the driver. "We'll wait in the siding." "No good," said the signalman. "It's full of trucks. You'll have to hurry to the next station. They've got plenty of room for you there." As a kid, this illustration confused me. Because I didn't register that since Toby was basically just a house, that his water tank would be inside the cab. So I just assumed they were just turning him into a swimming pool.
Swimming pool.
Or actually, no, I remember for a little while I assumed that he had, like, basically just a swimming pool in his cab that was just where they kept the water.
That's so fucking funny.
And I got news for you. That's called a water tank.
Yeah, but I assumed it was, like, open at the top.
I see.
Oh, God.
Something I haven't mentioned up until now, but I feel is very important when discussing this episode, is that I really like the music in this episode.
Oh, it's lovely.
Like it's got the sad Toby theme.
Yeah.
It's got that one arrangement of James's theme in it too.
Yeah.
I guess
it's got
good.
I always like when the show does stuff like that. And it's also got a pretty baller version of Gordon's theme as well, where it's like the Series 1 version, but like with the newer instruments I've laid on it as well.
The Season 3 soundtrack is just really good in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really love it.
It's good
I think
music.
3 and 4 might have like my favorite music of the show, really.
See, I've always been very partial to the Season 5 soundtrack. I love Percy's Season 5 theme.
Percy Season 5 theme, it does go pretty hard.
Ba-da,
I love it.
ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-da. It's good.
And Gordon's theme in Series 5. Gordon's
yeah.
theme, I feel like, is always good,
Yeah.
to be honest. There's no bad version of Gordon's theme.
I'm still sad that they
In the
didn't
show.
take The Adventure Begins as an opportunity to reestablish the character themes.
Yeah. They did it a little bit. They did it a little bit with Goodbye Fat Controller, but it wasn't nearly enough.
It's just, I feel like if season 19 and 20, every time Topham shows up, you just hit the do 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 do. Like, that'd be so good.
Yeah.
Like, the character themes are iconic, and they brought them back for The Adventure Begins, and everybody loved it. Why didn't they just keep using them?
Dear knows.
Also,
Yeah.
TV series Toby's water tank is the size of a small cup.
Well, I think it's supposed to, like...
That's the water
They modeled
gauge,
it
but-
after the gauge, but
Yeah.
because they don't actually show the tank, I always thought as a kid
Yeah, they
that
don't
was
show the
actually
tank.
his tank. And I was like, damn, that really is small.
But it also does have words on it saying, empty, full. So, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, but as a kid, you know what... As a child, did you know what the fucking injector was?
No, I didn't, but I could see that, like... Oh, okay, it's filling up with water. That must mean that that's showing how much water is actually in the boiler. Oh, wait, I had Train Simulator growing up. I had MST... I grew up with fucking MSTS. So, like, I sort of knew that. I sort of had that knowledge about
was just a
engines.
completely unrelated thought you were sharing with us for no
No,
reason.
No. It was completely and entirely pointful. And talking of pointful, you love the signal when pointing at Toby like that.
What the
Yeah.
fuck is that?
What the hell is this
no,
thing?
get him out of here!
Get him out of my station!
I don't want him.
Fetch Rocky!
About
Who's
time.
Rocky? Dunno, fetch him!
And then Ben reappears from the loop line rift, pulling Rocky.
He goes,
Hello!
He makes the oh, I need to grab the rules card entrance noise.
I feel like Benry very frequently is pulling the DreamWorks face.
Yes.
Henry?
Benry,
Benry.
Why would Benry pull it?
because he's a freak.
I mean, yeah, but Henry, the DreamWorks face is Henry's thing. As of Super Rescue.
Yes, but Benry's thing is taking Henry's thing.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I'm always very, very keen on the way Kenny draws people. Because, like I said this last episode, and I'm fucking saying it again here because I believe it, just that there's just always something interesting that they're doing.
Yeah, like the
Like-
people on the
Yeah.
platform just staring at Toby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
looking at, oh shit, what's going on there? The crew just being there like, okay, what the fuck? You're coming up to us with this shit?
I am trying to feed my child.
That absolutely is the stance.
Yeah.
Also, I believe this is Kildane.
I'm
this station here.
going to kill Dane. I need the exercise. I don't remember which station appears in which stories in the books, to be honest.
Well, I'm just looking at an iOS book right now,
Mm-hmm.
and it's saying that Kildane is where James brought his troublesome trucks to, where Henry had his accident, the flying kipper, and that Toby stops here to fill up with water, but is moved on. He runs dry before reaching Kelsthorpe Road.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers, by the way.
Damn. Well, let's find out all about that.
And Gordon and Henry meet a cow on the bridge which carries the railway over the Balladrine Killaban Road.
Ooh. Right, we get to move on then?
Yes.
Poor Toby clanked sadly away. I must hurry, he panted. But hurrying used a lot of water, and his tanks were soon empty. They damped down his fire and struggled on, but he soon ran out of steam, and stood marooned on the main line far away from the next station. The fireman walked back. He put detonators on the line to warn James and his driver. Then he hurried along the sleepers. I'll tell that signalman something, he said grimly.
Detonators.
Detonator!
Yeah, I feel like detonators are something that should have been used more in Thomas.
They
I
should have
agree.
been. I find it interesting that detonators were cut from season 3, but then they came back in season 6 because they did the Fogman episode,
Yeah.
and then they were never thought of again until Cyril the Fogman came back again in fucking season 20... In fucking season 22, where fucking Samson gets scared by them and he pushes Nia off a cliff or whatever.
Is that what happens?
Do you ever think about how Cyril the Fogman was the final returning character?
Yeah. I mean,
Besides
technically, the final returning character was the Post Van.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tom Tipper's Post Van. When Tom Tipper got his new whip, which is ugly
Actually,
as
no,
fuck, by the
technically
way.
speaking, if you want to be really technical, the final returning character is the Queen.
Yes.
Technically, if you want to be really, really technical, the final returning character is Prince whoever the fuck. From that same special.
Charles, I think it would have been Charles, wouldn't it?
It would have been Charles, yeah. You know, current King Charles, soon to be guy in the ground.
Yeah, if that enlarged prostate has anything to say about it.
Yeah, his enlarged prostate and the fact that he does not believe in actual medication is going to fucking herbal specialist or some shit. That man will be dead!
I'm just gonna say, if he waited so fucking long to become king and then he dies in the span of like 2 years, it's gonna be a little bit funny.
It's gonna be extremely funny. Like, as soon as he dies, I think the royal family is gonna collapse, because fucking, who the hell else is there?
Maybe we'll finally not have to deal with them anymore.
Yeah,
and
maybe...
we can spend money on important things.
Maybe the people of England can finally live under a democracy.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I would like that.
That would be quite
I think the ghosts should be allowed to vote.
Yeah, Vivian should be allowed to vote.
Yeah. Legally, because the royals exist, I cannot vote, so we should kill the royals. It's an actionable threat.
Yeah, kill the royals.
No. Oh no.
Just fucking kill them, man.
Yeah, that MI6, this is
them.
an actionable threat against the royal family. No, it isn't. Please don't arrest me.
No, just get fucking rid of them.
Yeah, fucking...
Had enough of the cunts.
Get rid of those assholes. You know who we shouldn't get rid of, though? Henrietta!
Whoa!
Oh yeah, because fucking... Yeah, there's a whole, like, scene in the episode where instead of the firemen just sort of walking back along the line, right, it's just...
Percy and Henrietta show up and take him there. Which is really cool, I think, until you start to think, how did they get there and when?
Yeah. Like...
Because, like, you know, it's one thing to be like, oh, what's Percy doing off the Farquhar branch line? Why is he coming that way? What, this is so unrealistic to the timetable. But then there's also the other issue of, like, if Toby left right after talking to Percy, how did Percy get in front of him and come back with Henrietta?
There's at least 30 loop lines on someone's TV series map to explain that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, unless maybe what happened is, like, Toby just, like, sat in the shed and slept for a few hours before going on this journey. And we just don't see that.
You know, like a Venn diagram?
Yeah.
That's basically what the track looks like on the TV series version of Sodor.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just a bunch of loops on top of each other.
It sure is. You know, if it weren't for the fact that Toby left first, I feel like it might be entirely plausible to be like, oh, Percy took Henrietta with him on his stone train run to the mainland, as established in Percy Takes the Plunge, so that she wouldn't be lonely, and that's why they're coming back the other way. But then it's also like, the fucking question of, wait, then how did they get there first?
Percy's just very quick.
Yes.
Because he's hella like that.
Yeah. I appreciate that the TV series version has that bit about Henrietta hated leaving Toby alone. But, like, you know, it's really nice to have an episode where Henrietta is treated like an actual character with thoughts and feelings instead of like a prop.
Yeah.
Once again, gonna bring up the one where he gets the free chime steam whistle, where he keeps talking to her, even though she is not sentient.
Yeah.
Yep. Toby's new 3-chime steam whistle.
Oh, fuck, Henrietta.
Could we just cut from that to the next page?
Yes.
3-chime steam whistle.
James was fuming when Toby's fireman arrived and explained what had happened. My fault, said the signalman. I didn't understand about Toby. Now, James, said his driver, you'll have to push him. What, me? Snorted James. Me? Push Toby and pull my train? Yes, you. Shan't. The driver, fireman, the passengers, and the guard all said he was a bad engine. All right, grumbled James. He came up behind Toby and gave him a bump. Get on, you, he said crossly.
I love how pissy James gets over this really simple request.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
I think that's the only thing I can mark against Time for Trouble for, is that they leave out that he refuses and then gets yelled at by everybody.
Yeah.
I think shan't is one of the
Shan't.
best things Wilbert's written.
It
Yeah.
is! It's
Yes,
so fucking
you,
good!
Chomp.
Oh...
James is such a bitch.
It's great.
He is. God.
I love it. I love his scowl in the picture too, and I love the
Yeah.
porter on the right there, just sort of explaining to some old lady that, like, yeah, well, I guess this
Get a
guy's
load
just
of this
get a load
guy.
of this guy. I think he's just being a bitch right now.
Yeah.
I feel like this is probably something that has to happen a lot when James pulls the train.
Absolutely, it's why he barely gets any turns with the express, to be honest.
Yeah.
The fact it's just like, oh god, just give it to Henry.
Henry's so much less of a bitch about it.
It's not even that he's not a bitch, it's just that he's less of a bitch than James.
Yeah, there's a scale of bitchdom. And James is at the very top.
And then the moment the bear arrives, it's just like, oh, thank god.
Oh. I also love that, we were just talking about the scene where Henrietta and Percy are doing this cool thing, and it's like, this is a cute and cool moment that makes use of stuff that was established earlier. And then as soon as they get back to the original text of the story, they just disappear from the scene. Like, Toby's fireman gets out and they just vanish.
Percy and Henrietta were both vaporized.
Yeah, it's a real shame. They weren't
Yeah,
real.
They died.
Benry got to him.
Yeah.
Let it be known, everybody, Benry will escape one day, and he will find you.
He will kill you.
With
Yeah,
hammers.
maybe not. Okay, maybe not kill you. Maybe not kill you. He will come in your dreams.
What was that thing on Tumblr about, like, the CEO getting killed by a car full of hammers that explodes?
I have not seen that Tumblr post.
Okay, so do you remember, do you remember a while ago when, like, they banned a trans woman for no good reason?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. She ended up making a post on, like, a separate account about how she hopes that the CEO is killed in a car hammer explosion. And I've been thinking about it non-stop ever since I saw it. Let's see if I can find it.
I love that combination of words. Car hammer explosion.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. I hope Photomat dies forever a painful death involving a car covered in hammers that explodes more than a few times and hammers go flying everywhere.
That's fantastic.
I just, that specific wording is something that is very good to me.
Yeah.
It's great.
Love that.
Yeah. I think more people should die in a explosion of a car covered in hammers exploding more than a few times and hammers go flying everywhere.
The hammers also
Yeah.
go flying everywhere more than a few times. I like
Yeah.
that there's seemingly like a child, a small child yelling at James too, sort of miming the.
It looks like Nancy.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah, it does
It's
kinda
probably
look-
just this. I don't think it's Nancy. It's just the same pattern scarf, really.
Yeah. She's also wearing yellow.
That could be a boy, to be honest, because that's probably like that's kind of consistent with the schoolboy caps we've seen before.
I am personally going to headcanon that is Nancy and that she just has really bad luck with red engines.
I just think it's fun because you can tell that that this child is just fucking miming the signalman, whoever it is that's arguing with James there.
Also on that topic, Nancy is based and I miss her.
I miss Nancy too.
I wish that she got into more stories.
Go listen to Race the Train.
Yeah, listen to Race the Train. That's a great story.
I don't think I have heard Race the Train.
Oh,
It's very good.
It's very good. It's one of Michael's ones that he wanted to do for the show, but didn't get to in the end.
Oh. I'll have to take a listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not again, Nancy, please.
It's a Sir Handel and Nancy story.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wish that... I feel like if they were allowed to do narrow gauge episodes in the show more, they probably would have done something with Nancy, because she has, like, you know, a pre-established silly little dynamic with so many of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James's driver made him push Toby all the way to the works. It serves you right for being cross, he said. James had to work very hard, and when he reached the workstation he felt exhausted. Some boys ran across the platform. Cool, said one. The express is late. A double-header, too. Do you know what I think? I think, he went on, that James couldn't pull the train, so Toby had to help him. Caw, said James, and disappeared in a cloud of steam. Yeah, unfortunately the book does not have ha-ha.
It's a real shame. Core, Core is still really good. Also, Beatrice mentioned. Or,
Yeah,
not
she's there.
mentioned, but, she's there. Look at her. That's fucking awesome.
On the topic of Beatrice, we have a friend called Beatrice, and she's really cool.
We do.
This is true. She is very cool. Oh my goodness, Matthew.
Kitty cat!
She just spoke up. I don't know if my mic picked it up on Discord or in the recording. We'll have to find out. But
What does Matthew have to say about Doubleheader?
hey, Nat, do you like Doubleheader? She's not saying anything to me now.
Oh.
Damn. Matthew doesn't like it.
Doesn't get the nasty seal of approval, does it?
I think
What the
she's
fuck's even the
distracted.
point, then?
She's looking at like a lot of other things right now.
Oh.
Hey,
An observant kitty.
she is very observant.
Anyway, I very much like the ending of the story. It's very funny. It's so funny they
Yeah.
used it wholesale for You Can't Win.
Although, personally, I would argue the ending of You Can't Win is a little bit funnier.
It is a little bit funnier
A little
because
bit.
it's
Fiddlesticks!
going for crying out loud.
Yeah.
But it's not reusing the same ending. It's a callback.
Oh, true. And if we think about it, if we really think about it in the timeline, that one came first.
I do.
It's a
this is,
call
admittedly, I
forward.
think about Stuart yelling fiddlesticks a lot because it's so good.
Yeah, but he says for crying out loud in the book.
I kind of prefer fiddlesticks personally.
Fiddlesticks
I mean, that's
is
fair.
fine.
Yeah.
I kind of prefer for crying out loud just because it's so funny to hear
Yeah.
those words, you know?
It is very funny to hear those words coming out of someone as generally like sweet as Peter Sam.
Yeah.
I do agree. However, I just think it's really funny hearing Michelangelo's yell fiddlesticks at the top of his fucking lungs.
That is fair.
That is true. That is entirely fair. Not much to really say about this one. It's a little different in the ending of the TV episode is different in the early narration.
Oh.
Mm.
There's no ha ha. He just goes, "They're only joking." Ha! Said James. Toby just smiled.
I love the implication of that Angelus went back and said, "No, I can make him shoutier."
Yeah.
They're like, we're gonna need you to do this one again, Michael. He's like, okay. And then he just comes out with the greatest delivery of all time.
Michelangelo's every time he has to speak as James. Hi, I'm a shouty man.
So, one other thing about the TV episode that I really like, I forgot to mention it. I forgot to mention it on the last page, but I think that's fine because it also applies to this one, is that I really like the sequence of James pushing Toby.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Like, it's just Time for Trouble it's a pretty good episode. I enjoy it.
I like it.
I enjoy the story, too.
I do really enjoy the episode.
Yeah. Do we want to move into rankings?
I think
Sure.
we can.
So this story is really good. Toby and James are always a great
Yeah.
leading duo.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't know. I think my favorite version of the story is probably Time for Trouble. Because, like, you know, we lose a couple good things, like the line from Toby's fireman, or the omission of James refusing to help. But the visuals and music are very, very good. And I think the way it adds in what was previously just expository text about Percy and Henrietta and the Fat Controller does help make the episode feel a little bit more whole, to an extent. Kinda. Even if, you know, even if, like we said, Percy and Henrietta have no business being on the main line when Toby's stranded there. I don't know. I had a lot of, like, hard time finding specific things to say about the story in general, though. Like, it's good. This is a good story. You know. I think overall I'd just give it a Toby, though. You know, which is still high. This is a good story. It's just, you know, I think I've liked the other two we've done so far better. Those have both been a little bit more like...
7 is still a passing grade.
Yeah, you only gotta start sweating when you're, like, under 5.
Now, I would say probably a Toby as well. I think it's a fun story. You know, I enjoyed reading it, I enjoyed watching it, I enjoyed covering it. I also had basically nothing to say. So, like... Good, but not in depth. And it doesn't need to be. Like, it's perfectly fine the way it is.
Yeah, I would also say Toby.
Yeah, Toby's across the board.
It's Toby all the way down.
It's a clean Toby sweep. Toby all the way down.
And Toby's in the story.
So, I guess next time is the Fat Controller's
Yeah, which is one I'm sure we'll actually have a lot to say about, because I think that story is really, really good.
We will have a lot to talk about, because that's the end of the book. We're gonna have a lot of things to say, but we're gonna have to save all those thoughts for next time.
Next time on My Balls.
Next time
on my birthday.
On my birthday.
Anyway, thanks for listening to the Railway Series Book Club, everybody.
Yeah, thank you for listening.
Make sure you join
we'll
the
see you
Discord.
next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
See you next time.